Hey, this is Evocation. I just wanted to talk to you for a minute about the Mastering Evocation Omnipotence training course that I have coming up. This course is going to teach you how you can evoke spirits to physical appearance. Now watch this online July 17th, 2013 at becomealivinggod.com/masteringevocation. Now what you're going to learn in this video is what the Mastering Evocation Omnipotence Training Course program is, as well as the specific types of ritual magic, occult powers, and training that you'll be learning in the program. Now at the end of this video, I'm going to tell you how you can get a special gift of 20% off the class tuition. Let me give you a little background about how I finally learned to evoke spirits to physical appearance after failing miserably for quite a while. When I started 20 years ago studying the occult and specifically evocation, I read through every book I could get my hands on about evocation, and what I found out is there were 2 or 3 good theories and practices out there, but then those theories and practices were just completely rehashed. Nobody was putting any new information out there. Even more than that, nobody was putting real information out there. That it seemed like the actual how-to of evocation was being kept out of the public view entirely. I also noticed that no local teachers actually practiced evocation, and most of them even warned against it. Now, when I say local, I've lived in Las Vegas, Nevada. I've lived in San Diego, California, Seattle, Washington, Green Bay, Wisconsin, Minneapolis, Minnesota. I've lived in some pretty metropolitan places, and all of them had the same story. They had these occult shops and New Age shops that I could go to, and as soon as I started asking questions about evocation, I was pretty much straight away shooed out of the shop. And so there was nowhere to really turn to get this information, to really get training in evocation. I was also preoccupied with physical implements. I thought that if I could create the sword and the wand exactly as they were supposed to be made, and to the point that I even handmade my own sword, dagger, and I went and cut down a wand and from the right, at that point it was a birch tree, and if I did everything right with the physical implements, that somehow everything would just come together. I didn't realize that there were internal states, that there were major shifts that I had to make in myself to get evocation to work. Now at this point, I've written my own books. I've created my own grimoires. At this point, I've written 8 full-length books, and I've evoked enough spirits that I've come across that nobody else has ever documented, that I've been able to write my own grimoires detailing these spirits and my contact with them and how you can contact them as well. I'm also teaching thousands of magicians to evoke and have the same results, and I have to tell you, for the success that I've seen with my writing career, with basically everything that I put my hands on, is due to evocation in a large part. And so where I've had that kind of success with evocation, I have taught and am still teaching thousands of magicians how to do the same. I'm also at this point able to evoke angels, demons, and gods, even more to physical view. Now I've created an evocation training that is original, it's effective, and it's universal. Most of what you're going to learn in this training course is stuff that I've received directly from the spirits, or that I've innovated myself through years of trial and error. And I basically failed a lot at evocation for quite a bit of time. And it's through those failures I was able to tweak my system and tweak my approach to get consistent results. And so I'm basically going to be delivering that to you, the experiential learning that I've come across, the stripped down version of how this actually works. Now, every single ritual and exercise that I give in this program is proven to work. Now, it's proven by me because it's what I use in my own magical practice, but it's also proven to many other magicians who I've taught these methods to, and that they've used it to generate the kind of success that they've been looking for. So this training applies to anyone and everyone of any magical background. So what I mean by that is it doesn't matter what color your magic is. It doesn't matter if you're practicing Haitian Vodun or if you're an Orthodox Catholic or if you're Wiccan, pagan, Satanist, Luciferian. None of that really matters, because what I'm teaching you is a system that can be applied to whatever paradigm you're working within. Now, let me tell you about why most magicians fail with evocation and what they and what you can do about it. Most magicians are too worried about trivialities. So they'll be worried about things like if the astrological timing is right, if they've got the right color of robe, if their lamp is set properly, if their mirror is at the right angle. They're worried about these tiny things, and what they don't really understand is that it really doesn't matter as much as they think it does. That a lot of this is largely dependent on internal states and internal shifts. And I'm going to tell you about those shifts and how you can work with those. Most people out there, most people that I come across, have no idea about what's going on around them spiritually, astrally, energetically, and unfortunately, a lot of magicians fall into this, that they're trying to make this conscious contact through evocation, and they're failing because they're just not seeing what is there. And so in this course, I'm going to walk you through how you can open up your senses to that. They also aren't generating the necessary magical, emotional states. So they're not undergoing the 3 stages of transfiguration in ritual. I'm going to tell you about those in a minute, and then through the course, I walk you through how to get into these states, how to trigger these at will, how to utilize them in ritual. Also, I've noticed just about everybody gives up too soon. That one out of every 10 magicians is going to try evocation, and then 1 out of 100 of those actually sticks with it. You have to be persistent, because evocation has an exponential success curve. When you first started riding a bike, you probably didn't just hop on and take off. You probably fell down and scraped your knees a couple times. And evocation is no different. That you're going to start out and maybe not succeed the first time or the second time. It took me years of constant evocation before I figured out what I was doing wrong. So I'm going to help you cut that down from years to hopefully just a couple evocations. Once you get it, it unfolds. Just like once you understand that all you have to do is pedal and keep the bike moving and keep yourself relatively upright, that the bike's going to go. It becomes so simple, so effective, and it happens so fast. And so there is an exponential success curve to evocation. Now let me tell you about the format of the program. You're going to be able to either stream the video online or download it onto whatever device you choose. We have this these files are set up to play on any device. It's going to be 15 or more hours long of video modules that you'll be able to look through, watch through, and practice along with. It is also going to come with a companion workbook, which includes over 100 pages of rituals, sigils, and spirit descriptions. Now, one skill that we're definitely going to be spending time on is scrying and the development of spiritual perception. Scrying is the ability to see into the spirit world. It is going to awaken your ability to perform divination, evocation, and soul travel. So once you learn scrying, you're not just going to be able to use this in evocation. You're going to be able to use this across the board for whatever you do in spirituality. You're going to learn how to scry into various mediums like mirrors and crystal balls. Those are the 2 most common. But I'm also going to show you how you can scry into fire, into a bowl of water, into a bowl of blood, even into the air in front of you, so you won't need a medium at all. Another skill that you're going to be developing in this training course is sigil charging and spirit communication. Now, sigils are symbols that enable you to contact specific spirits. Now, one thing that you need to know is that when you open a sigil, it activates that spirit's power in your life automatically. So for that reason, sigil magic is a standalone magical system. So you can use it on its own without pushing it forward to evocation, but it's also the essential first step in making contact with the spirit. Spirit communication is also essential to evocation. That if you call a spirit and you can't communicate with it, obviously that doesn't do you a whole lot of good. And so I'm going to teach you how you can make conscious contact with the spirit, how you can develop and fine-tune clairaudience so you can hear spirits. I'm going to teach you how to learn to start receiving clear and exact messages from the spirits. I'm going to show you how to facilitate real-time two-way conversations, as well as differentiate between self-created impressions, or basically just regular imagination, and real telepathic communication with spirits. I'm also going to be showing you how to structure an astral matrix. So that's one of the skills that we're going to be developing. And what you need to understand is that spirits don't have bodies. They are incorporeal consciousness. So because of that, they need you to provide an astral matrix for them to be able to construct a body. Now, the way that I teach this is through the structuring an astral matrix. And as far as I know, nobody else out there is teaching this. From what it looks like, most people don't even know about this, because I think that most people out there don't really know how to get evocation to work reliably, and this is one of the keys that's going to really make it come to life, especially if you've tried evocation and you haven't gotten the results that you're looking for. This is something that I've been teaching people privately, but I've never actually put into public yet. And so at this point, with this training course, I'm going to be putting this into public, how to structure an astral matrix. Now, the side effects that you're going to notice when you start learning how to structure an astral matrix are improved mental capabilities, better memory, sharper visualization, enhanced scrying and divination, because basically we're taking your living and active magical imagination and we're pushing it to the next level. You're going to learn how to create objects on the astral plane and then condense them into physical vibrations to actually create visible objects that are then going to start to materialize in your life. I'm going to teach you about utilizing the best manifestation bases. Once again, spirits are immaterial. They need a physical base in order to build a body with. You're going to learn how to use the most effective bases in this training course, like specific types of incenses, naturally occurring vapors like running water and evaporating moisture in the ground can create a natural vapor that you can use in evocation. An elixir of manifestation that you can make that you don't have to burn anything, you don't have to go outside for, you can just dump it in a bowl and it creates the necessary vapors for the spirit to use to take on materialization. I'm also going to show you how you can use sacrificial blood from animals, from humans, and even from yourself. What this does when you start applying the use of manifestation bases in this way is you're going to be able to guide the spirit from a mere presence to an actual embodiment in front of you. Now, I'm also going to be teaching you about the 3 stages of transfiguration. I mentioned these earlier. These 3 stages are really the secret to success with physical evocation. So transfiguration is what I've defined as the elevation of the mundane senses so that internal transmissions become externalized. So those things that would normally be coming to you internally start taking on form externally. I'm going to teach you how to develop proficiency at getting into these transfigurative states instantly at will in ritual. And these states are the theta gamma sync is the first, and it's pretty much a light hypnotic, meditative, or relaxed state. And when you push that further, it gets into what I call the rapture state, where your attention and your focus is more firmly planted in the automatic spiritual occurrences around you than it is on the physical world. Now, when you push that to this furthest level, you reach what I call the crossroads, which is really a place where the physical world around you fades to the background and the spirit world comes into the foreground. Once we've got the basics down, we're going to move into group evocation, as well as evoking legions of spirits through group evocation. So if you've got more than one person putting all of their power and attention into a ritual, you can imagine how that's going to automatically multiply the results. So I'm going to teach you how to use partnered evocation, what I call two-part evocation, where one person evokes and the other person channels. So with that, you're going to also learn how to channel spirits. So that's kind of another side effect that you're going to get out of this course. Now, as we push this even farther, we're going to have each magician call separate spirits, and so one magician will be facing a certain direction, calling a spirit. Another will be facing another direction, calling a spirit for the same goal. Not only are we going to be talking about these things, not only am I going to teach you how to do it, I'm also going to be demonstrating this as I go. And then, as a group, I'm going to show you how you can evoke entire legions of spirits. Obviously, this is going to lead into being able to evoke multiple spirits by yourself. And so you need to know that you can evoke as many spirits as you want to simultaneously. So I'm going to show you first how to evoke spirits consecutively for a single goal. So you call one spirit, and then turn a bit and call another, and then turn a bit and call another. And once they're all there, then you issue your task or command. And then I'm going to show you how you can use magic squares and house sigils to evoke multiple spirits, how you can employ entire legions serving under high-ranking entities. I'm also going to show you how you can utilize demonic and angelic mudras and gestures. Now, this is actually the first time that I've revealed a lot of this information, and some of these gestures are part of that I have belonged to several groups that I can never give names. I've belonged to groups that don't even have names, and they've taught me a lot of these secrets, a lot of these ways of enhancing your communication and contact with spirits and with the world of spirit. This is the first time that I've actually revealed a lot of this information in this training course. I'm also going to teach you how you can bind spirits to objects. Now, master magicians bind spirits to objects to achieve goals. You can keep the item that you bound a spirit to as a link to that spirit, so all you have to do is pick up the item, and just making contact with it puts you in contact with the power and the energy of that spirit, as well as giving the item to another person, and that'll affect them either negatively or positively, depending on what kind of intention you set with having bound that spirit to the object. And you can also store the object as protection. I have these objects in my home and in my office, and they act as wards, and they have indeed kept danger away from my doorstep. Now, this is the highest form of contagious magic. If you bind a spirit to an object and give that to another person, they're definitely going to be influenced by that object. You can do this with jewelry. You can do it with any kind of amulet or other object that you want to have. And most of the objects that I have spirits bound to, I don't. It's not obvious at all. You would never suspect it. One item that I have a spirit bound to for protection in my home is a simple rock. Nobody would ever think, they would think, oh, that's an odd rock that you have sitting there. But it doesn't have engravings that would tip people off that this is something different. And so imagine if you were to give these objects to somebody else and it had a compound intention in there, the effect of that. You're going to learn in this course what types of spirits you can bind to objects and what types you absolutely cannot, because there are some spirits that you're not going to be able to ever bind to an object. I'm going to tell you about that. I'm going to tell you why. Now, you can also bind different spirits to the same object and to make spirit boxes. You can use these teachings and learnings in order to make very complex amulets, talismans, gree-gree, and once again spirit boxes, and at that point you can just let your imagination go wild as to what you can do just with this one skill alone. I'm also going to be teaching you in this course forced possession and exorcism. So we're going to study the 5 stages of possession and how to recognize them when you see them. I'm going to teach you how to induce temporary possession through channeling demonic forces. And part of that is I'm going to teach you how you can let your voice actually go to the point that you are able to speak in tongues, that you're able to give your voice over to the spirits, and then how to do limb levitation to give your functions of your physical body over to the spirits in order to induce possession. You're going to discover in this course the secrets of forced possession on both the willing and the unwilling. Of course, I'm going to teach you how to do all this possession, and I'm also going to teach you how to do exorcism, and really teach you about what exorcism really is, what possession really is, how it works. I'm going to take the mystery out of it. I'm going to demystify it. I'm going to debunk it, and I'm going to make it something that you can actually use. As you push this even farther, you're going to notice that a lot of the tools that you've been using aren't really necessary. And so I'm going to teach you how you can perform full evocation without tools. So you're going to be able to strip out any tools that are not essential and even learn how to perform full evocations with no tools at all. Now, one thing I've noticed is that most magicians think that the more junk they can pile onto their altar, the more powerful their rituals are going to be. And that's just wrong. Really, less is more. That once again, these states are reached internally, and it's through the transfiguration that the internal becomes the external, the upper and the lower unite. And so I'm going to teach you how to actually take these principles and apply them. You're going to learn how to evoke spirits with no triangle or circle. In this course, and in all of the rituals that I perform, that I demonstrate for you, I don't use a triangle at all. I think it's a bit naive to think that a hand-drawn circle or triangle on the ground is going to cage the demon so it can't hurt you. I think having that approach at all is counterproductive to success altogether. So I'm going to show you how you can do this and how you can do it safely. And I even demonstrate that in this course where I'm performing an evocation. I'm asked by the Spirit to step outside of the circle to meet him. And I do, and I am completely unharmed, although extremely connected to the Spirit in that moment that I step outside the circle. And I received a very specific instructions that came through that I wouldn't have otherwise received if I hadn't done that. And also from that one evocation, I've been seeing massive success in every aspect of my life. I'm going to teach you in this course how to make blood pacts and how to summon gods. So we're going to go beyond basic evocation here, and I'm going to teach you how you can contract forbidden alliances with demons, angels, spirits, planetary intelligences, and actually make that in the form of a pact and a contract. So part of that will be learning how you can negotiate profitably with a demon or a spirit or an angel or any of these entities. What you should include in the pact, how you can seal the deal, actually make it happen, and what you need to offer as a sacrifice and a tribute for this pact. We are also going to talk about whether you're selling your soul or damning yourself to hell by doing this at all. Now, you're also going to be learning in this Mastering Evocation training course how to transcend being able to evoke simple angels and demons and spirits and get into summoning gods, doing something that most people out there think is impossible. You'll be able to use this to commune and communicate with the most ancient gods of mythology. And I'm going to be just debunking a lot of the religious disinformation that has been used to hide the true nature of a lot of these ancient gods, and I'm going to show you how you can get in contact with them. Finally, the Devil's Stone. Now, this is my baby. This is something that I actually formulated while I was working with the demon Azazel, and he delivered this to me. You're going to learn how to use my evocation template for instantaneous manifestation of objects, so you are able to create literally something from nothing. This is going to allow you to increase the speed of manifestation infinitely and reduce latency, so the gap between when you perform the ritual and when you receive the effect is none. You're going to start to condition the world as well as yourself to respond instantly to your desires. Through the application of what I'm calling the Devil's Stone, you're going to learn the secret of transmutation of elements. And anybody who's really looked into alchemy at all and into the transmutation of one element into another knows that the biggest obstacle is that the duration of the alteration of the substance is unpredictable and short. And so I'm going to show you how you can increase that duration of physical materialization. I'm going to tell you what's necessary for creating a permanent materialization of an object or a permanent transmutation of an element. Now, let me give you some need-to-know details about the Mastering Evocation training course. You can start watching this program on July 17th of 2013. We need to talk about what is a fair tuition. And I asked around to a lot of people, and some people said, $1,000 to $5,000. Some went a little higher, and so I kind of wanted to go to the low range of that. And so at first we were talking about $997, and so we locked that in. But as I sat and meditated on that, that's not going to be affordable to everybody, and I understand that. And so, we went ahead and marked it down, $485. And that still didn't seem like it opened the door to enough people. I wanted to make this as affordable as I could to just about everybody. And so what I've set the price at is $327. Now, I'm confident that that's going to be really affordable to many, many people. But if you sign up in the first 7 days, I'm going to give you a 20% off of even that. So that brings your total to only $267. This is an important investment in your spiritual education, and I know that. And so that's why I wanted to make sure that it was affordable to you, that I could cut the cost as much as I needed to make sure that you were able to get your hands on this information and education. Go right now and bookmark becomealivinggod.com/mastering evocation. You'll be able to go there on the 17th and purchase the program right away and get that 20% off. I need to let you know that evocation is indeed the key to unlimited power. I myself have been using it for years, over a decade now, very, very successfully in creating the kind of life that I want, creating the kind of lives for my loved ones that I would like them to have, realigning circumstances, learning directly from the spirits, directly from demons, angels, even gods, that I've just completely blown the hinges off the door of possibility, and I want you to be able to do the same. So check out online July 17th, 2013 at becomealivinggod.com/mastering evocation.